Welcome back to our newest interview series on the Queen Sports Network and Southern Lions Den. I am Maya Forbes here with Tyler Redpath from the men's lacrosse team. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So can you tell me a little bit about how you've been handling online classes this semester, and how was the transition from going from last spring to this spring with school and everything that's been going on?
So the transition to online classes, it's been a difficult one. Some classes are easier to transition online than others. When more participation's required, it's a bit easier to get the kids engaged and talking throughout the class. That way you're not just sitting there listening to someone talk on your computer for 2 hours. It's definitely gotten a lot better from the spring semester when the teachers had a week to prepare.
Yeah.
Now that they've prepared a little bit more and understand kind of what there is to do to incorporate a better learning community online, it's definitely improved a lot.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So can you talk to me a little bit about how you got started playing lacrosse, how you came to Queens?
So growing up, I'm from New York. Everyone around me, you pick up a lacrosse stick when you're 3 or 4 years old. It's kind of one of the first things you do. I, however, didn't pick up the sport with the school system until 8th grade. And then once I picked it up, I've played before. I've evolved very quickly. And that's how I ended up on my way down to Queens.
Okay. Did you have anybody who inspired you to start playing back then, or you just kind of just started?
So originally it was my best friends that would play. And then I had a travel team coach who was a 4-time All-American from Syracuse who took me under his wing, and he let me wear his number, and he goes, "You remind me of myself." So that was kind of a big inspiration. Like, I want to take this very seriously and be the best at it.
Okay. So how excited were you when you heard that you guys would be playing in the spring?
So I'm super excited. A lot of kids haven't played lacrosse in a year. If you think about it, the freshmen that are at Queens now, they haven't played lacrosse since their junior year of high school. So I'm really excited to see how things are going to go, and grateful that we do have a season, even though some of the games were cut out, but we're still able to get 13 games in this year.
So can you tell me about the type of things you were doing over quarantine to help you stay active and fit to help you prepare for the season?
Definitely. So thankfully, our trainers at Queens, they're able to send us the workouts via email. And to get the best out of it, what we did was conditioning. You can run almost anywhere. It may not be a turf field or simulating that, but especially down in Charlotte, most of your runs end up on a very pretty scenic route. And then for the weightlifting aspect, my roommates and I actually put a gym inside the shed in our backyard. And so that was definitely helpful. A lot of our teammates benefited from us having that, especially early on when the gyms around Charlotte weren't open yet. And so that was the best way for us to get physically fit, was implementing that.
Okay. So now, getting closer to the season, what are you and your team doing now to help you prepare for your first game?
So to help prepare for our first game, we've installed a fully online playbook that has all the terms and references to the sets that we run for the team wise. Over the fall, we would have weekly meetings and we would go over the playbook together. And there, if you had any questions, you could get those answered. It's definitely not the same as in person, but it at least establishes a base knowledge that can be tweaked a lot faster than learning it from brand new.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are a pretty large team. So how are you able to stay connected while being separated and apart? And how are you able to build that team chemistry from back during the beginning of quarantine all the way till now?
So yeah, we are a very large team. Luckily, we had roughly 26 local guys in Charlotte.
Okay.
So us 26 were able to connect and at least stay together, following the guidelines and regulations of
Mm-hmm.
that nature. And then everyone else, we have group messages
Mm-hmm.
beyond galore. So most of the time, a lot of the freshmen actually were in Charlotte themselves. So that I think that was very beneficial for them. Especially, I'm an upperclassman. I was able to talk to them, get their inputs on things, and kind of show them a little bit about who we are as a team and the culture. The lacrosse team, as most people would know at Queens, is a very, very tight knit
Mm-hmm.
group of guys. We're all friends. Everyone gets along, and we hold each other to very high standards.
Yeah.
So I kind of was able, as an upperclassman, able to introduce that to the freshmen, saying like, this is how our team is. This is what our culture is like. So it was beneficial. I'm interested to see how things turn out once everyone is fully back and together.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So how do you think the season will go? Since it was cut short I'm sorry, I'm gonna start over. So how do you think your upcoming season will go since your last season in the spring was cut short? How do you think you guys will perform in this upcoming season?
I think this upcoming season will definitely be a test. Last year, we ended our short season 5-2 with our 2 losses being the top 20 teams in the country.
Mm-hmm.
The South has really grown in lacrosse. There's a lot more powerful teams in the rankings that we are able to play. With our season being limited to conference games, we definitely have to prepare a lot more and not take games lightly that could be considered easier wins for us, just because when you don't have a powerful schedule, it makes a lot more of a difference when it comes to playoffs and playing teams that are out of conference, which for the most part, a lot of northern teams and then even teams from Florida have some very strong opponents that we would possibly face in the future.
Okay. So what are some goals that you have for this season?
So the main goal is for everyone to stay healthy. That's
Mm-hmm.
the biggest concern of mine. Following all the rules, it's going to be tough. And with the physical aspect, injuries do tend to come. And so we got to be able to face the adversity with those. First goal of the actual game in the season is to win the and go on from there and make it into the NCAAs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So those are all the questions that I have for you. But for my last question, who is on your workout playlist? Who do you like to listen to when you work out?
So depending on my mood, Pop Smoke's a big one, and then a lot of EDM, Avicii, and kind of festival club music
Mm-hmm.
is definitely a go-to for working out. Something to get
Well,
the
thank
blood
you.
flowing.
I'm sorry.
Something to get the blood flowing.
Yeah. Get you motivated. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today and getting this series going. You are the last one of the series. So thank you so much for doing this. And I wish you luck on your upcoming season.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.